Hey everyone, how you doing? Okay, so this video was initially going to be about the Chinese remaster of PvZ1, but honestly, it's more of a talking point to what I actually want to discuss in the video. Though if you are curious about that, I'll explain it real quick. So a couple of months ago, a random TalkWeb game, I think it's TalkWeb, kind of just shadow dropped a PvZ1 remaster. It isn't all that good, I've looked at some gameplay of it, but all you really need to know is that it exists. I could have even gotten some of the information wrong here, but it's interesting because I actually think this is something that really needs to be discussed more. Something that could actually help PopCap significantly, that being remastering PvZ1. Let's be completely honest with the market we're in nowadays. Remasters are all the hype. Remasters, remakes, all that good stuff. And have you ever noticed that PvZ, a franchise that honestly could use it really effectively, has never had that happen before? Don't get me wrong, we did get special versions of PvZ1. We had the DSi port, the fucking Java ports, stuff like that, but none of it was ever actually better than the base game. Except for the console editions, those were by far the best. But even still, that wasn't a remake, that was more like Persona 5 Royal compared to Persona 5, if you get my gist. To say that we've never gotten a remaster is honestly a little bit crazy, isn't it? I mean, seriously, PopCap would be rolling in money if they remade PvZ1. And I'm saying that because it actually could work for them. I've talked a lot recently about my thoughts on PvZ3, PvZ Match, and a potential Garden Warfare 3, and how, none of it's really all that good. Garden Warfare 3 is never happening in the first place, but I've already explained my thoughts on that. And overall, the direction of the PvZ franchise is not looking great unless PopCap makes a drastic change, the way I see it. Which is kind of why the idea of a PvZ1 remake feels like the perfect way to get people's trust back in the franchise. It's such a simple idea, almost to a fault. The only thing PopCap needs to do is just improve the graphics. Make the game a little bit faster paced. Hell, add a little bit more content, but you don't need to go crazy. It would be easy. It would be so easy. And it would be justified too. One part of remakes that a lot of people aren't jiving with nowadays is how deserving they are of a remake. We've gotten remakes of games made less than 10 years ago. PvZ1 is 15 years old now. I think it deserves a remake. Especially a widescreen remake. 4:3 aspect ratio is not pretty nowadays, I'm just gonna tell you that. So when I say this, I really do mean it. I think a remake for the original game in the franchise would be huge. This would actually benefit people a lot too, because you have to remember, the easiest accessible game, or at least the easiest accessible version of this game, is mobile. And mobile PvZ1 is shit. Sorry, not sorry, I had to say it. You can also buy the Game of the Year edition on Steam, but it's not great either. Honestly, the console versions were the best ones. Why did those never get remade? But I digress. Overall, this is just something that's been on my mind for a long time regarding the franchise. I don't think it's exactly a secret to anybody that I have had weird thoughts about where I want things to go, and this is actually something I would play. I would buy it. I would 100% this PvZ1. The original is good, don't get me wrong, it's a great game. There's a reason why it has such a cult following online. But the game itself is simply not modern now. It was definitely good in its heyday, but nowadays, PvZ2 is better, overall just as a package. So I think that PvZ1 being remade would ultimately give it a reason to actually stand on its own legs. For a lot of people, the only reason why PvZ2 is even better is because there's more to do. So add more to do in PvZ1. Do you remember hearing about the Limbo page? Yeah. And I think that's where I'm gonna leave things off here. I kind of wanted to make this video for a while, but I kind of forgot about PvZ1. Sorry. It's easy to forget about that game sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. I just never talk about it when you compare it to everything else on my channel. But these are just my thoughts on a PvZ1 remake, and I do think PopCap could definitely do it if they put time into it. But what do you guys think? Do you think modern PopCap could actually take on that challenge? I just don't know for sure, but it would be interesting to see them try. Also, if you're new around here and you like what you see, then maybe consider subscribing too. It helps me out a ton, and I'm trying to get more videos out, so stay tuned. Also, big shoutouts to Dan B, Nicholas Van Koski, Wapfa, and Song. I got that order wrong, I'm so sorry. But if you're interested, you can actually join my channel as a member. So, yeah, if you're an extra member, you can have your name read out. That's cool, isn't it? Also, I have some normal members. Thank you guys so much too. Seriously, all of you rock. Thank you for supporting my content the way you do. Now, as for me, I have literally had zero train of thoughts, but I'm gonna go now, so peace.